Ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
You like this one?
No.
Yeah.
You know, recently we got a comment saying, guys, you don't need to talk about the sake at the beginning of the channel.
Yeah.
And you just start talking like, nah.
No, this is
I want to talk about
fun. This is part of the fun.
Yeah, right? I enjoy this. This is nice.
Yeah. I forget. This is Benten. That's how you read this Benten. Benten ではなんちゃら 100% の was it 純米大吟醸生原酒.
No.
Since it's right up the alley.
1786, apparently this
Since 1788, actually.
Whatever.
1780. You need to get new glasses.
I actually do.
Oh,
my
you do?
my eyesight's been getting worse.
Really?
I've noticed, like, I don't know. You're not really a glasses guy, right?
No.
So, my eyesight sucks, and
Okay.
I remember. So I've had these glasses for about a year, and I've got ranshi.
Okay.
So it's astigmatism.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's what you say in Japanese?
Astigmatism.
Oh,
yeah, it's ranshi.
Okay.
And so I have to. Basically what that means is my eyesight gets worse.
Okay.
Very quickly.
Okay.
And so every couple of years, I have to slowly get stronger glasses.
Really?
Yeah, it sucks.
So by the time you're 80, you're going to get glasses like this thick?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that by the time I'm 80, I can just replace my body with a robot. So I don't have to deal with that crap. Because,
dude, imagine that, like probably because, AI is going so much.
I will upload myself onto a computer. I have no morals against that whatsoever.
Yeah, man. No, but I wasn't going to go that far. I was going to say, like, you could, like, get a bionic eye that would give you superhuman, like, eyesight.
That'd be cool.
Like that. Yeah. Because so this is total sidetrack, but have you heard of the online comic strip, The Oatmeal?
Yeah.
It's a guy based in Seattle.
Yeah.
So there was this, I gotta bring this up because I forget, let's see, The Oatmeal.
You just want an excuse to bring something up right in the beginning of the episode.
No, that's not why. Oh, the mantis shrimp. Okay. So yeah, Masa, can you pull this up for us? And then 表示してたら教えてください. Yeah. Okay, we're good? Okay. So I remember reading this years ago called The Mantis Shrimp, why it's my new favorite animal.
Okay.
It talks about how dogs normally have 2 colors, humans can see 3 colors, butterflies can see 5 colors, but this mantis shrimp can see 16 colors. And it's so weird. Like, look at this. This mantis shrimp can see 16 base colors and we can only see 3.
Yeah.
So imagine if you could get, like, the mantis shrimp eyes and you could see a whole new world of color. Okay, thanks.
With like little stalks and everything just looking around.
Yeah. But today we're not going to talk about mantis shrimps.
They're really cool though. They punch and they actually break clans open because of shockwaves.
These shrimp? Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Have you?
So it's not even like they break the shell with their fists. It's the shockwave.
They punch so hard that it pushes the water and compresses it into an explosion, and it breaks open the clam.
Man,
it's cool.
Man, after that, I need to see that on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But we could talk about mantis shrimp for a while, I think.
Yeah.
But instead, today we're going to talk about a topic that I wanted to bring up because I've noticed this a lot, especially. I really feel like Japan is an amoral society, not an immoral society, but an amoral society, and America is really moralistic. Okay, and that's really, really
that's a really
abstract.
Yeah, I was about to say that's like super abstract.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what made me think about this. So, spending time with my wife's family, spending time with my family. So I noticed that when I hang out with when I go back to America, I get this a lot with my sister, but it's not just my sister. I see this a lot with other people.
Okay.
But like when I hang out with them, they're always commenting on how something is strange or something is good. Like, oh, that's so cool. That's so great. Or, oh, that's so weird. Like when I was drinking a cup or something, drinking from a cup or something, and my sister was like, oh, the way you drink water is really weird or something like that. And it just seemed like there was always like a value judgment being placed on something. Like, this is good, this is bad. This is good, this is bad. And then when I talked with my wife's parents, of course, like if there's like a crazy driver on the road, they'll be critical of that person. But for most things, they're just super chill.
Yeah.
And like another thing that really caught me too is I think a lot of Americans are disgusted by the chika idol culture in Japan, where you have like the young.
Not just Americans. I think a lot of non-Japanese
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are disgusted or maybe like really disturbed by it.
Yeah. Just like, oh, what is that?
I'll tell you from the outsider perspective
Mhm.
is a lot of it, and to be fair, like it's not even like a lot of this comes off as pedophilia,
Yeah.
right? And to an extent, I don't actually feel like that's fair to the idol culture because like most of these like idols are not like underage. They're mostly in their like late teens or 20s.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are like 16 because like idols, I mean, they started like 14, 16 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like most of them are like in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I wouldn't say 30s. I'd say like late 20s.
Well, I think the guys can get up into the
Wait, the
30s.
guys can-
Yeah. Girls are like, all right, cool. You're a hag now, so goodbye.
You're graduating. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's right. They use the graduate. You've graduated now. It's like, no, you're old now. People don't like you because you're old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Anyways, but from the outsider's perspective, I think, and like, I really want to emphasize that we're mostly talking about the girls' side, but
Yeah.
I don't think we should completely ignore the boys' side too, because the boys also try to dress like this, but they really try to embody youth.
Yeah.
Right? You look at the girls, they're all in like super short skirts. They all they dress like I would dress my 2-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Frilly dresses and like really cute ribbons and everything. It's like, that's how I would dress my child at 2 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like that's the popularity, right? And the boys are like, you look at like the boy idols or the male idols here in Japan. Like I said, these guys are mostly in their 20s and 30s.
Mhm.
I don't know the demographics at all, but if I were to guess, male idol groups tend to be older.
Yeah.
It seems that way, right?
Yeah.
And you look at like what's Sexy Zone's new Timeless, right?
Okay.
You look at Timeless, you look at Arashi. Like Arashi's in their 40s, dude.
Yeah, right.
And they're still, well, I mean, they finished now, but they were still like wildly popular. But you look at them and they still like, they have that smooth youngish face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like, as an outsider to the culture of that, it feels very much like pedophilia.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny because I would talk to some, for lack of a better word, normal Japanese people that I know. Like people that seem really well balanced, and I'd ask them like how they felt about it, and a lot of them would say something like, "Oh yeah, it's a little, it's weird, like whatever." But in America, it'd be like, "That's disgusting."
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that like from an American perspective, as an American, it's like that's how we feel. But I feel like this is thought in more places. Like I would say Western culture in general.
Yeah.
It's like there's this like emphasis to put a value judgment on it, or I like to say like tribal checks.
Okay, what do you mean by tribal checks?
So here in Japan, and this is my theory.
Yeah.
All right. Japan,
guys, we have an Austin.
Yeah, we have another Austin theory, right? Okay, so Japan is like more or less one big tribe.
Yeah.
Right. And what do I mean by tribe? I mean like culture, society, right? It's like you're either in the culture here or you're out of the culture here. But like if you take into account like all the different groups of people that are living in the US, like you got people from Europe, Asia, Africa, South America, you have like Native Americans, you have like all these different cultures that do not get along together, trying to mesh together. And like I said, you have these things called tribe checks. It's like, okay, do you agree with my outlook on life?
I feel like though we have that in the States too, though.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like in the US, I think people are constantly checking each other, be like, do you have the same beliefs that I do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like they'll throw out a Trump comment or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, right. And
Yeah.
it's like that's where it's like, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Right. I feel like that's the most common phrase in America right
Yeah.
now is how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Right.
Or like I would even say that people are more strong about that. They're like, well, don't you think that, or don't you agree with that?
Right. Whereas like here in Japan, I feel like there's more or less a consensus on like what everyone agrees to.
Yeah, I gotta tell you a story. So so in 2018, one of my friends from college, he came and visited us because our friend was getting married in Korea.
Yeah.
And Japan is close to Korea. He wanted to go to Japan. So he stayed with me for like a day or two. And I didn't ask about his sexuality at all or anything like that. He could be gay. But I remember he talked about like he like brought up the topic of like gay marriage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, so Arthur, what do you think about like Japan hasn't legalized gay marriage yet? Isn't that horrible?
It's a really random.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was pretty sudden. So just like, you know what, man, I don't really have an opinion about it.
Yeah.
I don't really think about it very much. He's like, no, you're either for it or you're against it. And he got like really in my face about it suddenly.
That's how I think a lot of discussions with Americans are.
Yeah. It was so weird, but like, you know, because when I go back to the States now, I get really tired when I talk to a lot of people because there's always like value judgments being placed on something.
Yeah, and like in America, it's very much you are either liberal or you're conservative.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
It's pick one.
Yeah.
Right? And depending on where you are in the US, if you pick the wrong answer, you'll be like completely removed from the community.
Yeah, and it's like, and so of course you have that in Japan, like, you know, being on Twitter in Japan or looking at the comments on social media, you can see there's a lot of criticism and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like people are a lot more, when it comes to politics, that's one thing. But I think other than politics, I think a lot more people are much more chill.
I would say tolerant.
Tolerant, yeah. It's like as long as you're not, I mean, it's weird, but as long as you're not hurting anyone, okay.
Yeah.
Whereas like in America, it's like, even if you're not hurting anyone, we think it's wrong, so you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, like I'll give you a really good example.
Yeah.
So here in Japan, you will see these people at every single train station. There's a big hobbyist group here in Japan of people who love recording trains.
Yeah, right. They have they have the mics that go right.
Dude, it is insane. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand like the enthusiasm, but man, there is like you said, they have these like long like recording sticks that will be like recording like the train signal or the chime that the train station has. You'll see them like standing at the very end of the train station recording the train as it comes in. And it's like not even a special train. It'll be like Yamanote-sen or something, right? Or like the most basic train ever that's like, dude, you ride this like twice a day. Why do you care about this train?
Yeah.
But again, there's my American persona coming in like, why do you care?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's like you fixate on that a bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right? And it's like, I think most people in like, probably this is a Tokyo thing because there's just more trains here, but I think most people are aware of these people.
Yeah.
And there's like, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But I think if somebody were to do this in the US, so many people would approach that person and be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, are you doing something illegal? Like, are you trying to like, you know, plan something bad or like what is your goal doing?
Or at the very least, they would like be talking to their friends about, oh, look at that weirdo.
Yeah, look at that weird guy like filming trains. What is he doing?
Yeah.
You know, like it's very much a negative thing if you are doing something that is observable in public that is outside of like normal behavior in the US. Whereas here in Japan, I don't think I've never seen anyone talk to those people here.
But on the other hand, though, so my my sister used to live in New York, right? And she was saying how one thing that she likes about New York more than Tokyo is that you can cry on the streets in New York and no one's going to bother you, no one's going to care or look. But in Japan, she feels like people would like judge her or something.
I don't think so at all because I see people break down all the time in train stations.
Actually, dude, I remember one time I remember this wasn't in the train station, but I was literally concerned. This was in Sentagai in Shibuya, maybe 10 years ago, not 10 years ago, like 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And like there was just this woman who was like writhing on the floor, going like crazy, and people were just like walking by, not even saying the daijoubu desu ka. They're like, oh yeah, she just couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true though. Dude, you go to Shinagawa Station, and if you stand on the platform for either Keihin Tokusen or Yamanote-sen, especially in the morning or like later in the night, and just people watch. Yeah, okay, this sounds a little creepy. I've done this before.
Yeah,
because I like to people watch.
That's so weird. Why you do that? Oh, sorry,
it is weird. It is weird. I think it's weird, but I don't know. It's kind of enjoyable to see people, but I don't film them or anything. I just watch.
I hope you don't film them. That's illegal.
But like you'll see people that will get off the train, make a phone call, just standing there, and then like slowly sink into a fetal position on the ground and just start sobbing.
Okay.
Most of the time it's women, but I've seen men do this too. And it's just like nothing. Yeah. No one talks to them at all.
Yeah.
Hey guys, if you've watched this far, you're going to love our Austin and Arthur friends.
In the Austin and Arthur friends, you're going to really improve your English listening, and I mean a lot.
Yeah. So for each episode, you'll get English and Japanese subtitles, so you can check your listening and comprehension.
You'll also get access to a members-only community where you can talk with us, the both of us. Mainly me, right?
No, definitely not. For more info, click on the link here or here or here, or in the description box of this video.
Thanks for being our friend.
Woo!
I have no friends. Yeah, so
yeah.
And so another thing though that kind of like ties into this, I think, is, in America, it always seems like there's a new crisis happening.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's something really bad. I mean, of course, in Japan, you had COVID, you had anti-vaxxers and all that stuff. But like, in America, you had like the stuff with George Floyd and the anti-racism stuff. And then you have this other thing happening. You have this other thing happening. And it seems like every couple months, there's like a new thing to be angry about. Whereas in here, like people are aware of that stuff sometimes, but they just kind of let it go. Like, why do you think it is that Americans are so like moralistic and get angry about this stuff and like kind of point it out so much?
I think coming from my own perspective, because I've felt really frustrated with America, probably the past like almost 20 years, probably 15.
Been frustrated with America for 20 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's true.
No, I mean, but not all of America, but like a part of America, right?
Yeah, but like I think a lot of people share this feeling, and how I feel and why I get so riled up about American politics is I feel like my point of view is not being represented.
Yeah.
And I feel like the country's not moving in the direction that I want it to go.
Okay.
And I know this is a very me-centric thing, but this is how Americans think.
Yeah.
We don't think of it as our country. This is my country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially nowadays.
Yeah. Right. And I think that like, regardless of what your like belief system is in the US, I think all Americans feel that way, right? This is my country. I want it to be done this way. And when it doesn't go that way, it feels like a personal attack.
Yeah. But why do you think people feel that way? Because here it's a lot more.
Well, I mean, like if you look at the culture about how America was set up, it was like, come here and you can have your own place. It's like, 100, 200 years ago when pioneers came and, when people were moving west, it's like, come get your own piece of land.
Yeah.
Come to America, move from your country and come here and you can have your own paradise.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, there's so much emphasis on like your personal area and your personal investment in the US that I think that that's carried on through generations. And a lot of people still think that.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, this is my country. I am a part of it, and I want it to do the things that I want it to do.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I feel that way I feel that way about my life too. You know, a lot of I see this on social media sometimes when you talk about economics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People talk about how Americans see themselves as embarrassed millionaires.
Which I can see that. Yeah.
Which basically just means like we should be rich, we should be wealthy, but we're not rich or wealthy. But we think we should be, so we're going to still have the values of like being rich and wealthy, but we don't have it. So a lot of people, they say, would vote for people who who actually put in policies that are not good for them but are good for rich people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, well, that's fine, but like rich people are good, so you know.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I have a completely big tangent I want to go on rich people because, like, you know, I've got a lot of wealthy people in my family, and like I've seen the kind of discrimination that wealthy people get.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of it's undeserved, but
Yeah.
well,
that's
another discussion because I want to bring this back to.
If you guys want to hear about how Americans see rich people,
yeah, and how Austin apologizes for the wealthy, I'm sure that'll go down well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going back to like the whole topic, one of the things that I love about Japan is how supportive people are of personal hobbies.
Yeah, right.
Dude, okay, so another personal thing about myself, I'm a huge nerd.
Yeah.
I love science fiction stuff. I love video games. I'm really into Warhammer, like tabletop figures and stuff. And I love like role-playing stuff. Like, I think that's really, really good. And it's, you know, it's so crazy because here in Japan, I don't feel any judgment at all talking to somebody, just a complete stranger, about Warhammer.
Yeah.
For example.
Can you explain Warhammers? I have a couple pictures.
Yeah. So like it's just a tabletop game. You buy little plastic figures, you paint them up, and you know, they have like different rules and stuff, and you play, and you have like a big table set up with like terrain that you've made. There's a lot of ways to play it, but basically it's a social game. You know, I meet my friends, and we you know, we have some drinks, and we spend the day playing games together. And like most of my adult friends, both Japanese and foreign.
I'll tell you though, we in high school, we would love making fun of these.
Exactly.
Like, right? He walks by in a Warhammer group, like store, or whatever. Be like, oh, look at those losers.
Yeah. And so the thing is like I have talked to my coworkers about Warhammer. I've talked to, you know, random people on the street about it. Like, oh, you know, what do you do for fun? Like, oh, I do this and this. And I have faced no like judgment on that. It's like, oh, that's interesting, you know, and like people will generally, like, even if they don't really care, like even my wife, like I've talked to my wife about it and she doesn't care at all, but like she'll be like, oh yeah, that's cool. This is what you do, you know? And it's like, if I go back home and I talk to my family about it, it's like, yeah, okay, you still play that? Like, dude, you're 35. You know what I mean?
You're not a child anymore.
Yeah. And so like, I think there's a lot more shame about like personal hobbies in the US unless it fits like a cool theme. Like my personal hobby is working out and exercising and eating healthy, and like, okay, obviously you're going to put yourself on TikTok. You know what I mean? But here in Japan, I think it feels like people are allowed to pursue their own interests without judgment.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because like one of the things I really think about when I thought about this topic was related to food, because I remember like the thing that really hit me, that made me think about this topic, and this is many years ago, but I remember going in Tokyo Station, and I was looking for omiyage, for souvenirs. We were going to go to Natsumi's parents' house. And I remember seeing a store for pressed butter sand. And it was basically like a cookie sandwich with butter in it.
Small little thing. It's like, why do you have to call it sand?
We could talk about that. Yeah. But they advertised like how rich the butter was. Like, we have extra butter in this for you. Yeah. And you know, it's funny because in the United States, you would never see that, because butter is almost, for maybe the things have changed now, but for a long time, butter was seen as like an evil, unhealthy food. And like, so people would never advertise the amount of butter in it, but in Japan,
thanks, Big Sugar.
Yeah. No, but it's like, do you know like the Cremia ice cream? That's like 25% milk fat or something like that. And they advertise that. Whereas in America, they're like, oh, that's so unhealthy. Why would you eat that? That's crap. And I feel like people are really moralistic about
No, you know what?
food.
Like, that's a good point
like,
to bring up.
Like in America, if you eat McDonald's,
Yeah.
you're a bad person.
Yeah, I was literally about to use that exact sample.
Yeah.
Though I get criticism from my wife's family about eating McDonald's, but it's because they care about my health. But
yeah, it's different.
But like, you know, if you see a coworker going in and eating McDonald's here, it's like, oh yeah, you want to have McDonald's, no big deal. But if you take that same situation back in the U.S., it's like, why are you eating McDonald's?
Yeah. Like I remember,
don't you care about your body?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's weird how like in America there's always like a diet fad. Like at first it was Atkins, no carbs. Then you remember Atkins. Yeah. And then it was like keto, which is like fat and meat and no carbs. And then it was the Mediterranean diet. And then it was
like a caveman diet.
And then the caveman. And there's always a new diet that's getting really popular.
Yeah.
And like people get obsessed with it. But it's funny because it's literally like every couple of years there's a new diet that everyone's trying and people are still fat and unduly. But in Japan, like there's not like a huge diet.
The thing, like one of the recent diets was like the plant-based diet.
Oh yeah?
Have you heard about that one?
Yeah.
And it's just like, it drives me insane. So like, I'm not going to name names, but like there's some family members that I have that are like really into dieting.
Yeah.
And well, you know who you are if you're listening to them. Anyways, but every time I would be home, it's like, oh, well, you need to try this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're eating this way? You should really try this.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, fuck's sake, I just want food.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to eat like this like over the top like cardboard that's trying to be another food. It's like, dude, if you just want to eat the food, eat it.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that I think Japan does really well is a lot of the things, I mean, obviously there's like fat people and there's drunks and, you know, people with problems here. But I think Japan does a really good job of like doing things in moderation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whereas I think America's all about excess.
Yeah. Well, you know, I really think like, because I've been thinking about why it's like this. And I really think it has to do with the basic religion differences. Because like, in Buddhism, right, which is the main religion in Japan, for lack of a better term. If you want to see us talk about religion, you can watch our religion episode.
Yeah.
But so Buddhism talks about moderation, walking the middle path. There's no heaven, there's no hell. You just kind of go through life. Whereas in Christianity, it's like good versus evil. And you cannot have even a little bit of sin in you. You have to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of my Christian friends will say, no, Jesus forgives us, but whatever.
But I know it's true though, right? It's like if you go Old Testament, it's very like black and white.
Yeah.
Like New Testament, there's like some wiggle rooms, like but like the main part of like Christian and I would say Jewish or Judaism, because Christian's basically Judaism mixed. There's just another
plus Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But if you look at Judaism's all about like living to your best potential
and being clean versus unclean.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like a lot of people, you know, in America, I really feel like they have this feeling of I need to be clean, I need to be perfect. And there's a little bit of like, cause you know, back in the Old Testament and even in like if someone committed a sin, like even if it seemed not that big, they would kill them to get rid of the evil from your midst, you know?
Yeah. And
so I feel like in America too, it's very moralistic where it's like, oh, you're a sinner, you're a bad person, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, you can, one of the things that I think is very opposite of kind of this topic though, is the criminal system here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because if you look at the crime statistics here in Japan versus the US, like Japan has like almost 100% conviction rate.
Yeah.
versus the US is like not that
Yeah,
high.
right.
So it's like probably down in probably 60s or 70s, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And so it's really kind of interesting because you have the society here. It's like both of us kind of agree that Japan's kind of more of an amoralistic society, not like really big emphasis on immoral and amoral. Like, like immoral means like you're doing a whole bunch of bad debauchery kind of things. Amoral means you're not like really pushing your opinions on something.
You're not deciding if something's good or bad. It just
And so
that in the beginning of this.
Yeah, we should have. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
But like, it's really interesting though, when you get into the criminal system here, that it's like, oh, you did a bad thing, jail.
Yeah, it's like guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah,
the opposite.
yeah. But in the U.S., it's like the U.S. has really strived to have criminal systems that are built on like judgment of a jury of your peers, people in your community, right? That you would think that's like a moralistic society, you wouldn't think would have that.
Yeah.
It's like
much more critical.
You know, like I got selected for jury duty one time. No, actually multiple times. This is the only time that I actually got
for jury duty this week. My dad sent me the letter.
But yeah, so like I remember going into jury duty one time, and like my personal belief is like if you get arrested, you're probably guilty.
Yeah.
That's not a good way to think about it. I understand. That's just my personal belief. And so I remember going through the selection process, and this is like 10 years ago, so I'm probably okay to talk about the case. But anyway, so like this dude went and robbed a gas station and took a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah.
At gunpoint.
Did he take any cash?
No.
Just
it was literally a 6-pack of beer.
At gunpoint.
At gunpoint. And it's just like the dumbest thing you could get arrested for. He's probably going to jail for like 10 years. But like they were describing the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a big selection of, it was probably like 15 of us.
Yeah.
And there was like, does anyone here think that this person, or have a strong opinion of whether or not this person is guilty or not guilty without having heard the trial? And I raised my hand. I was like, this guy's guilty.
Yeah.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
There's no chance I am saying not guilty on this. This is so dumb.
Yeah.
It has to be true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got rejected. I got kicked out of jury duty for saying that, because that's how they select jury duty, though. It's like both
got to be impartial.
But yeah, you have to be impartial. But both the lawyers were inside. They had the defendant and the prosecutor, and that's how they select jurors. They try to get people who are impartial that will listen to the whole trial and everything. And I was like, nah, screw that. If you're gonna hold a gas station up at gunpoint, I don't think
for a case of beer,
it's like, I don't care who this is. Like that is the level of stupid that there's no way that that's not true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this guy needed $600, so he went and robbed a gas station. Maybe I would think, I don't think gas stations have $600.
Yeah.
And there's something fishy about this. But no, I could totally believe some idiot going to a gas station with a gun and be like, I need beer. Give me it now. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like I was saying, the criminal systems are really interesting because they're the complete opposite of what you think the societies would have.
And it just goes to show you that, like, Japan and America are the opposite of each other. Like, this is another thing we can tag on. Like, America's moralistic, Japan's amoralistic.
Yeah.
The justice system is a lot more impartial in America. It's a lot more severe in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that are opposite,
Yeah.
But man, this is good. Thinking about, we talked about Warhammer 2 and stuff, we talked about this over lunch with Masa about playing board games and stuff. And I want to talk about that too. But yeah, we've talked a lot, but next, what are we talking about next? Do you remember?
No.
We'll have to look about it.
You ask me that every time and I never remember. You would think that by now you'd be like, I'm not a trustworthy person.
I am impartial. I give you a chance every time, man.
I fail every time.
Okay, I'll see you next time.
See ya.